Have you ever wondered what the bleep is dog listening? Think it sounds dopey and new agey? What can you really hear when listening to a dog? Barks or whining, right? But if you have ever experienced issues like your dog jumping up on visitors or on family members coming to the house, or you have a dog with separation anxiety that tears up the house when you're away, or why not a dog that's a fussy eater and has to be hand-fed with lobster, dog listening is definitely something you want to know more about. Hi, I'm Katrin, founder of Thriving Mutts, and today I want to tell you a bit more about what dog listening is all about. As it turns out, dog listening is far from haphazard and dubious, and can help you solve all of these very common problems. It is actually based on scientific studies of how wolves in the wild interact and communicate in the pack. But now I can hear you argue, dogs and wolves are not the same. Looking at the exterior of many dogs, it's easy to relate to that argument. When comparing a Chihuahua or a Chinese crested with a wolf, it's hard to see the resemblance, right? But take a Siberian Husky or an Alaskan Malamute, and you immediately spot the superficial resemblance to a wolf. And yet, they belong to the exact same species as the Chihuahua. Although dogs do display some behaviors differing from those of wolves, they are in all significant ways still the same species. Wolves and all kinds of dogs can interbreed and have pups that can also breed and have pups. So, what does this mean when it comes to living with dogs from a dog listener's viewpoint? First, dogs live in a very confusing world built by us humans. They have no internal reference points when it comes to such things as going for a leisurely walk, stop to chat, go for a ride in the car, always having food available at all times, people, or packs in their eyes, living very closely together, or what about total strangers walking straight up to them to socialize? Wow! On the inside, dogs are still wolves. To truly understand how they interpret the world around them, you have to realize they are in no way humans. They don't interpret what's going on around them the same way humans do. And on that same notion, we cannot interpret a dog's behavior using human behavior as reference. You know how a dog that has done something to anger its owner is often said to be ashamed. That statement is based on how the dog hunches down and lowers its head. But that is a sign of fear and submission, not shame. Dogs don't do shame. That's a purely human concept. But it's much more convenient for us humans to say the dog is ashamed than to realize it's frightened of us. The former explanation puts the limelight on the dog, making it the culprit. The latter puts the limelight on ourselves and our behavior, causing the dog to be afraid, much more uncomfortable. This is an easily understood and much cited example that gives a pretty clear understanding of what dog listening is all about. A dog listener strives to understand dogs and how they behave from the biological standpoint that dogs are wolves living in a pack, which for the dog is the humans they live with. Our dogs are dependent on us, being reliable leaders, making all important decisions around the pack's everyday life. So, what are the important things to consider here? In short, is the safety of the pack, hunting for food, understanding who's who in the pack, and who's in charge of the food. These are the basic survival issues for the dog. Dog listening is all about making it clear to your dog in a way it can understand that you are capable of taking responsibility and making the important decisions in the pack. It's not a training method, but a way of living with dogs and making their lives stress-free and happy. And it's also a way of making your life with a dog, or perhaps dogs, stress-free and happy. All those common issues so many of us dog owners have with our darling dogs, like incessant barking, separation anxiety, leading to destroyed furniture or a howling dog, dogs jumping all over guests or family members, can all be solved by dog listening. That's the beauty of this method. There are two main reasons why I decided to become a dog listener. First, there is never any violence involved in any form, not psychologically and certainly not physically. No evil gadgets are used. Second, the dog listening method is a way of empowering you as your dog's owner to become the natural leader of your pack. You don't need a trainer working with your dog. In fact, a dog listener very rarely works directly with the dog when doing a consultation. Instead, the focus is on teaching you, your dog's owner, how to understand and interact with your dog. You will grow to become the reliable leader of your dog's pack. This is why I love dog listening. If you want to know more about dogs and dog listening, be sure to subscribe below so you don't miss out on any of the information from Thriving Mutts for the life your dog and you will love. Bye for now.